Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're talking about the decisions that you must make in order for your purpose to go to the next level or for your life to go to the next level. And we've just talked about stop doing what's not working, okay? And we say that winners are the best quitters, but we never talk about that often and not in a way that is encouraging, okay? That is why so many people still hold on to things even when things are actually not working. And the other thing I actually thought about while I was talking about this, sometimes it's our ego, because we feel like we've gotten comfortable at doing this thing, we are used to doing this thing, and sometimes we feel like stopping is going to be read as a sign of weakness. Oh my goodness, how our ego can stand in our way. And then and sometimes we end up people pleasing, and we're like, okay, have you seen people who have married because they are people pleasing and they are sympathizing with people and they are favoring people? Because we say that stop doing what's not helping you. In order for your purpose to go to the next level, there are certain decisions that you must make. Now, when you let your ego stand in your way and say, you know what, sometime when I end this relationship, they will say I'm a failure, or when I stop doing this kind of work, they will say this and this. So you realize you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for everyone else, and everyone else is not going to move the journey of your purpose. And that means you will be stuck for the rest of your life while people are actually making progress. And this reminds me about the so many decisions that we have made in our lives. And there's this particular decision that Tim made. And after some time, he was actually talking to some people, and he was telling them that, you know what, while I am suffering because I must maintain the facade and how people know me, and I don't want to disappoint certain people, those certain people are actually eating, they're going back to their homes, they have their wives and they have their children and they're happy, and I'm the only one that is stuck in not wanting to jeopardize the status quo and not wanting to actually destabilize how people look at me. And that is, he has talked about this story so many times. So you realize that some of us don't want to stop in our tracks and say, you know what, let me abort this, let me stop this, let me quit on this, and let me prepare myself or plan something else or change business or change whatever it is that you need to change. You realize there's so many things. I want you to look into your life and ask yourself, what must I quit on? What must I stop? What games must I stop playing? Okay? What kind of sympathies must I stop? And what kind of people-pleasing games must I stop playing? Okay? Because yes, the world might look at it as weakness, but let me tell you, when later you rejoice, they will come congratulating you. Let me tell you, people, whatever you give them is what they work with. When you show them that they're so important that you can't quit on certain things, they will keep you accountable on the wrong things that you are doing, on the bad things that you are doing, and they will keep telling you, keep going. But the stopping has to be made by you, and the quitting has to be made by you, okay? And sometimes we don't want to stop anything because it feels comfortable and familiar, okay? And we must master the intentional art of quitting. Because it sounds familiar and it's comfortable does not mean that it's the right thing to do. Some people are in relationships and they have failed to close on those relationships or end those relationships because they sound familiar. They quarrel every day, but yeah, they're in a relationship. They quit or they even call it off and then get back together and call it off and get back together. And they've been doing that for the past 5 years. And for the past 5 years, they've broken up like 20 times. But they're still in there because it feels comfortable. Because maybe the girl comes and washes your clothes over the weekend, cooks you a meal. And because, yes, you're getting sex out of the whole thing. And we have things that make us comfortable. Oh, because you need a buddy to go out with. And you're thinking, now, if I close this relationship, who will I hang out with? So you realize that you have your own weird, crazy reasons as to why you keep this relationship going, but it's not a relationship worth keeping. It could be a friendship. It could be anything. So I want you to be able to know and realize when you have gotten used to the comfort of it all and you've just thrown away your purpose, or you've thrown away your shifting or the growth or your evolving. You've put it on a hold. Why? Because you want to please, or because you've gotten so comfortable and you don't want to, you know, to jeopardize your comfort, and you just want to stick in there. So I need you to be able to step up from that, okay? And sometimes we do it because we want to protect ourselves, okay? And we want to protect our ego. And we don't quit because we feel like, that would be a wrong move. That would be a wrong move. How will people see me? And I started this. I've been talking highly about it. I've been speaking highly about it. What will people say? That is none of your business. Your business, however, is to know when to quit. Your business is to know when to pause. Your business is to know when to stop. Your business is to know whether to re-engage, to restart, or to never engage in that again. Now, those are decisions that you alone can make, and I hope that you can be able to actually make them. Let's go to number 2. The decisions that you make in order to, powerful decisions that you need to make for your purpose to go to the next level, okay? And your purpose wants you to make those decisions. I hope that you can make them. The other one is to plant the seed of your authentic message as the thing you build around. Now, this totally goes to those that are pursuing their purpose. Those that, are in the coaching industry, those that are in the preaching industry, those that, it's also an industry, those that, whatever it is, but you realize even in content creation, even whatever it is, the messaging around, right now is around messaging, okay? Whatever content creation, whatever we are doing, photographers, videographers, content creators, whatever it is, we are doing everything basing on messaging. And when it comes to messaging, the authenticity is very vital. That is why for the people that come to my to accelerated mentorship, the first thing is finding your purpose and nailing your niche, knowing where exactly you want to be able to put your focus. Yes, you can be able to do other things, but you have focus somewhere. So sometimes we want to copy niches, and like, he's niching down, he wants to deal with children, or he wants to deal with this, or she's in the fashion industry. So you realize you see something that is booming or something that is glamorous, it's nice, and you want to copy that. That is not authentic to you. What is authentic to you, however, could be making lollipops. What could be authentic to you, however, could be making chewing gum. It could be making juice and selling that juice, fresh juice and selling that juice. What could be authentic to you is doing bitenji and doing good designs out of them. What could be authentic to you? I have seen people have different weird, kind of crazy purposes and things that they are pursuing, and if you look at them, you'll be like, but what exactly are they doing? I shot a video with my daughter about scrunchies, hair scrunchies, and someone is making a living out of making hair scrunchies, and they're selling and marketing it on internet, and people are actually buying them. But when you hear their story, when they tie in their stories, they're like, you know what, I was looking for something, I was looking for a hair scrunchie, this particular one that was not slippery on the hair, that had a good grip on my hair, and that it had a very good volume on my hair, and I didn't find it anywhere. So I wanted to solve that problem by having a product on the market that solves that problem, because you realize that it can never be purpose until it's solving someone's problem. So your authenticity, taking you back to my story, I usually tell you that my purpose chose me, or my job or what I do chose me. I didn't choose it. And this is how it chose me. That when I was going through a phase of brokenness and my family breaking, and I've said this so many times, it's not the first time I'm talking about it, and I had to look at the gruesome experience that my parents went through, I chose to dive in and go on a quest, on a rampage, just to look for information, to research and to read and to take in as much as possible. How one can maintain a relationship, how to choose a good partner, because I knew that is, I would not dodge that. I will get to a point and I would have to get in a relationship, I would have to get married, I would have to have children, I would have to build a good home, a happy home. I wanted a happy family. And so I was like, I'm not going to repeat the mistakes of my parents. I'm not going to do that now. My purpose was born out of pain, and that was authentic to me and the experiences that I went through. And that is why when I speak about marriage, and when I speak about homes and relationships, I speak about them with a lot of emphasis and with a lot of enthusiasm. Why? For me, it's just a part of my story. It is authentic to me. And when I talk about relationships in the light of deliberately selfish and empowering people to make decisions that create better relationships, okay, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, now you should do this, you should communicate well. There are those people that are going to talk about the calm side of the relationships. But for me, it's the empowering side of the relationship. And that is back to my story. That is logged into my past. That is logged into my pain. And that is authentic. So I found something that was authentic to me and built a message around it. And the people and the world received that message. Why? Because I spoke from my heart. I didn't copy from anyone. I remember when I had just started, people used to tell me, but are you heartbroken because the things that you post? And I would tell them, no, I'm not heartbroken. I'm not even in a relationship. But I feel there are so many people that are going through these things. And I feel the urge to keep going, the urge to keep going. Okay, so I want you to be able to plant the seed of your authentic message as the thing that you build around. So many people have done this. Okay, so many people have done this, that they wanted to solve a problem, but they solved a problem there's so many coaches. There's so many coaches that deal in children, that deal in single mothers, that deal, but it's because of their personal pain that they have gone through, and it's very authentic. When they talk about it, you can literally see that it's a pain that they had, and now it has become a purpose, and now they are transforming people using those tools that they have harnessed over time and the experience that they have harnessed over time. So whatever is authentic to you, I want you to be able, when you copy something and you don't know where someone got it from, it's very hard for you to sustain it because it was not in you. You didn't conceive it until that person sits you down and they tell you the journey, why they started doing that particular business, or why they started speaking that kind of way, why they did that kind of coaching practice, why they majored in that niche, why, because even content creators, for those that are, lifestyle, for those that are in marriage, for those that are in parenting, for those that, you realize that everyone is choosing, and it's not a one blanket fits all. Otherwise, everyone would have chosen the same thing. But we are gifted different. But I want you to find your true gift and then build that message around it. Okay? When you build a message around it, we have Coach Molly in the accelerated mentorship. She's an alumni anyway, and she talks about healing, she talks about forgiving, she talks about personal healing. We actually call her a healing coach. But her message, she found the authenticity where she could have just become a general life coach to talk about things and pains and personal growth and stuff like that. She told me, I want to be a healing coach, I want to minister healing, to speak healing. And I told her, cool, do that. And she started as a joke, but she's everywhere on TVs or speaking engagements, being invited to State House. Doors are opening everywhere for her to talk about healing. Why? Because she went through that, okay? She went through that as a child. She went through that where she was brought up from. She went through the worst. And so she knew that she had to heal those wounds and the trauma that she went through, was she experienced as a child, in order to materialize or manifest even a good person and a good life that she wants. And so she wants to take people on that journey. It's authentic to her. If you told me to talk about to be a healing coach, no, I can't. I can't. Tell me to talk about forgiveness. I will tell you forgiveness is good. But let me tell you, I will never dive deep. But when you tell Coach Molly to talk about forgiveness, my goodness, she will make you love forgiveness. She will make you fall in love with forgiveness. She will make you forgive without knowing. She will, because it's authentic to her. What are you? What is your authenticity? Build something around that. You are unique, and your uniqueness is your magnet to everything else that you're going to do. Your uniqueness is your magnet. And I want you to know that for sure, that you can't build a business without fulfillment. And fulfillment for me comes from you doing something that you love. doing something that you feel comfortable with, doing something that you feel passionate with. That is where your contribution in something that you love, that is where some of us, we wake up every day to do what we love, and it just doesn't look like a job. It just doesn't look like work. It feels like we are just chilling the whole day, even as I speak right now. But this is work. You know, it's hard work, but I don't feel it. I can speak the whole day if I have to. I can speak the whole week if I have to, because I am doing what I love. Okay, so I need you to be able to do that, find the fulfillment. And number last is to be able to decide to choose your soul's obligation than anyone's obligation. Okay, your ego's your obligation, your growth can't happen with preservation. You have to be able to go out there. Now, so many of us are protecting ourselves, and you know, ego protects, and we protect our ego as well. So like stepping out, I'm unsure. Like so many people that sign up for the mentorship, whenever I tell them, okay, now we're going to dive into doing videos, we're going to dive into, you know, interviews, we're going to dive into all these things, they usually feel like, no, I don't feel ready. I don't feel what. And I usually tell them, you know, you're not on this course to be forced. You're on this course to actually do it willingly. So whenever you're ready, you'll actually let me know. The people that have gone through and done all these assignments are people that have made it way higher and way ahead of everyone else. So you realize that they chose to grow instead of self-preservation. And that is one of the decisions that your purpose needs you to make, that you must be able to be unveiled. You must be exposed. Is it hard? Yes, it's hard. Are people going to criticize you? Yes, they're going to criticize you. It's like a graphics designer who says, oh, I'm a graphics designer, but they never do anything. You realize that they are protected. Everyone will be like, he's a graphics designer. However, if they make the graphics themselves, that is where everyone will start critiquing. They're like, but those colors, but that poster, it didn't come out. But that. So that means exposure exposes you to criticism, exposes you to people that are going to beat down your idea, exposes you to people that are going to hate you for what you're doing, people that are not going to like you for what you're doing. It exposes you to a lot. But you cannot choose self-preservation over the manifestation of your dream and the manifestation of your purpose and the manifestation and growth. You cannot trade those places. So I need you to be able to know that it is your obligation. It is your soul's obligation. And whenever your soul is aching and restless and there is something that you must be able to do, you realize it will not settle. It will not give up. Okay, so I need you to know that this is your obligation, that if you don't fulfill it, yes, other people can fulfill it, but they're never going to be able to do what you are doing. You realize that there can be so many photographers. For example, I have done photo shoots with so many photographers, and they will all say that they're best at their thing, but the result of their work will be totally different. Okay, so that means that your unique gift is needed on the market. And I've said it so many times when people ask me, but you're mentoring coaches and they're going to take over the work that you're doing. I tell them that, you know what? We are totally different, unique human beings with different callings. And even if someone stepped into what I am doing, the world is not saturated. And Mole can never, or Fiona, or Jessica, they can never be Bahati. So me, I am going to continuously being me. So it's better I nurture what is inside of me, and so that I can keep making those shifts. Because let me tell you, in as much as you're gifted, if your gift stagnates, you're going to feel so sorrowful. If your gift is plateaued, you are going to feel like the biggest loser. If your gift is just not making headway, you're just going to feel like you're doing nothing useful. Okay? So that means that your gift needs to grow. That means your career needs to grow. Your purpose needs to grow. Whatever it is that we must do must grow. Okay? So if it's not growing, it's dying. There is no two ways about it. You can say, but for me, I'm somewhere, I'm in the middle there, and I've been there for the past 3 years. No, you're actually going down because the world is shifting every day. Things are changing every single day. So you realize that in order for you to make headway, you stop doing the things that you must not do. You quit on things that are never going to work, the things that are not currently working, you actually quit on them and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to keep doing that. And then number two, you must be totally authentic. Build everything around your authenticity. Build everything around you, okay, around who you are. Because then that is a stamp of endorsement that no one can disagree with. Because this is me. Like, it's like someone disagreeing with how I look. How are you going to change how I look? If you want to disagree with how I sound, how are you going to change how I sound? Okay? So be authentic and build everything around that. And then I need you to be able to prioritize your growth over your preservation. I know that so many of us love the preservation. That's why they say that cowards live longer, but they live a miserable life. Okay? I'm not saying that risk it all, but be confident. Okay, risk to be criticized, risk to be, you know, rebuked, risk to be talked about, because let me tell you, no one talks about a failure. No one talks about anyone that is not doing anything. If people are backbiting you, if people are gossiping about you, if the tabloids are gossiping about you, it's because you're doing something and it's unsettling some people, and so they're not comfortable, and so they're going to come out and tell you what they feel about what it is that you're doing. So I need you to be able to step up and decide and choose and know that this is my soul's obligation. This is my real calling. And when you answer to a call that is yours, it's, for example, someone calls on a phone and you're the one that is supposed to speak to that person. When you pick, you realize you'll either recognize their voice. So our calling is calling. Your purpose is calling. When you pick the call and you recognize that, yes, this is my purpose, I need you to be able to know that that is your obligation, and that your obligation is being waited for by the world, because whoever you're going to change is out there. So you must be able to go out there. Preservation is never going to work for you. You going out there and manifesting these things and doing these things and publishing these things and executing these things and being these things and multiplying, that is the only growth that you're going to experience. So you realize there's so many decisions that we need to make. I just brought up these three that you need to make in order for your purpose to make a headway and to make a shift. Okay? I don't want you to just get lost in the sea of comfort. I don't want to just get lost in the sea of you be feeling big because you're throwing a big name out there. A big name minus the manifestation of the bigness of the name, it's actually nothing. It's actually called, you're embezzling, you're lying, you're doing things that are not good. They are dubious. That is a total lie. Okay? So I don't think that's the best way, the best foot forward for you. The best foot forward for you is go back to yourself. Okay, find that deeper longing. What exactly do you want? Do you want to speak to women? Do you want to empower them? Do you want to speak to a girl child? Do you want to empower them? Do you want to lead a team and empower them and be able to motivate them to work well? Are you a CEO and you need to be able to mentor your people? I know, who are you? What are you doing? And how are you doing it? I need you to take it so seriously, and I need you to look at those points that we have made and see the shifts that are going to happen in your life. I have seen it work for me so many times. I have seen it work for me. So if I say it works, it has worked, and it is still working, and it's a framework that I'm still applying. That whenever I feel demotivated, whenever I feel to launch to the next level, I activate my decisions, and those decisions have never failed me in any way. Okay, so I love you. I pray that God's face shines on you. I pray that He keeps you safe, but I pray that He grows your purpose, and I pray that you embrace it, and I pray that you make decisions that elevate your purpose and not just kill your purpose, that elevate you and not just kill you, that elevate the transformation, that you're not selfish and keeping everything to yourself, that you're not just a reservoir, but you become a river of living water that is actually serving other people and contributing to other people's growth. So from me to you is bye-bye.